Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Lexi. I'd love it if you subscribe, stay a while. It's a fun time. I figured, we'd sit down and we'd chat. I've been doing a lot of week in my life videos, but I asked you guys over on my Instagram what questions you have. I feel like we need to sit, chat. There's a lot of life updates happening and just catch up. You know what I mean? If you want more, if you like this kind of content, I do have a podcast that I catch up every single week. Sorry, I'm touching my hair. I just washed it and it's just like not drying exactly how I want it. But if you like the weekly life updates, catch up type content, I do have a podcast with my sister. It's called Outgoing Without Going Out, and go check it out. So why don't we hop right in? You guys asked a lot of good questions, so I have a feeling this might be a lengthy video, but I will try and keep it concise. First question says, do you like your job? Yes. So if you do not know, I am a pediatric dental resident. Technically, I'm a licensed dentist in Florida, but I'm in my residency. It is 2 years down in Naples, Florida. So I absolutely love it. I love working with kids. Pediatrics is definitely the specialty for me. I am really enjoying the program itself. My attendings are great. The atmosphere is great. The assistants, my co-residents, everything. I'm truly loving it. I don't dread Sunday nights. I don't have the Sunday scaries anymore. I really just love work. I love my schedule. I just can't say enough good things about it. I guess if I had to think of something that I didn't love, I would just say the Zoom lectures of it all, but I need to learn from that standpoint as well as I go. I just am such a big clinical person where I just like being in the office with patients all day. So if I could do that, 24/7, it's time to be real. If I could do that 24/7 and not necessarily learn from a Zoom standpoint, I would, but it is what it is. Let's be real. My Be Real is private. I have 4 friends on it. It's just family and close friends, but I will do the Be Real on the YouTube right now if it loads. I will say this app is kind of glitchy and they need to sort of figure it out. It's very slow. Next question says, what has surprised you most about living in Florida? That's a good question. Okay, 2 things. One, I knew it rained a lot, but I didn't realize how torrential downpour and how regularly often the thunderstorms are. And I actually don't mind it because it is so hot, sunny, and nice that those are kind of nice to have mixed in. Whereas up in Buffalo, I feel I hated when it was like that because it was gray most of the time and cold. So it's I'm really enjoying that. And that surprised me. And 2, the drivers. I also knew Florida drivers were bad because, my sisters live down here. I have family down here. We're down here a lot. But until I lived here and had to experience it on a daily basis, I did not realize how horrific it is driving in Florida. So I would say those 2 things were probably the only things so far that I'm surprised about. How is the rhinoplasty recovery? I'm struggling. Have you experienced any negative thoughts? And I think there were a couple other ones that are you happy with your nose? And whatnot. So I am. If you do not know, back in March, I had nose surgery. So my cartilage was closed on both sides. So I've never been able to breathe out of my nose. And the surgeon, so I went to an oral maxillofacial / plastic surgeon that I knew through the dental world in Buffalo. And he was phenomenal. 10 out of 10. Cannot recommend him enough. But I was thinking I already am going to be in surgery so that I can actually breathe, and I've never really liked my nose from a profile standpoint. So I was I still want to look like me, just my nose was a little bit large for my face, especially from the side, and he did an amazing job. I still feel I look just like me. I love my profile now. It is still technically healing. I think it takes up to a year for all the swelling to go down, but yes, I am very happy with it. I have a very low pain tolerance. I vlogged everything. I'll try to link them right here. But so I was really nervous about that. Would I do it again knowing that it is kind of extremely painful the week after? No. I mean, granted, I like it, so that's why I'm not going to do it again. But to know the results that I have and the fact that I can sleep with my mouth closed now and breathe, 10 out of 10. I'm so happy I did it. I have no regrets. Trader Joe's favorites. So off the top of my head, the linguine with pesto and cherry tomatoes frozen pasta, the penne arrabbiata frozen pasta. Their bruschetta is phenomenal, top notch, 10 out of 10. The ABC bars, really, really good, like granola bars. I think they're like almond butter cocoa bars is what it stands for. Chocolate hold the cones. I'm trying to think like off the top of my head, what do I love? I mean, they have really cheap wine if you live in a state. So like our Trader Joe's in New York didn't sell wine, but the one here does. And they have like $4 Pinot Grigio. Phenomenal. That's all I can think of off the top of my head, but those are some of my faves. This one says, what are some things you know you don't want to have at your wedding? So we've been engaged for a year now, which is so crazy. This past weekend was a year that we've been engaged, and we have done no wedding planning. I did just order a wedding planner from Amazon. I'll link it down below because I'm like, once I do want to start wedding planning, I have like no clue where to start. So I got this like little book that Sean and I can fill out with like our visions and what we want and all of that jazz. Some things I know we don't want. Neither of us want a church ceremony. That's just personal preference of ours. I don't want, what else? There's really not a lot that I'm like, absolutely not, don't want that. I don't want a lot of people. I want a very small wedding, like 100 people or less, preferably less. I kind of have like a vibe in mind of like, I've had the same style forever. It's just figuring out where we want to have our wedding. I kind of know when we want to have it, probably fall of 2024, and I have like a date in mind, but obviously it'll depend on if the venue that we find is available that day. But yeah, I don't know. We're figuring out some other things prior, which I'll get into in a second. I might as well answer that question right now. It says, are you moving? Did you guys find a house? All of the questions are on that. So before we wedding plan, we really wanted to find a house. Our apartment lease that we're in right now is up the end of November, beginning of December. And the housing market is insane right now. And also, Sean and I are both first-time home buyers. Neither of us have ever owned a home. We've always rented. So we've lived together for 3.5 years now, but we've always rented. So this is our third place together. We have had 2 apartments prior to the one that we live in Florida. And we really wanted a house, and you know, we've been looking. We put in an offer on a house and they counter offered and it was higher than we wanted to spend. And it's just like a stressful process, especially the first time you do it. Like, I just feel like nobody knows anything actually about like the finances behind buying a house and the house buying process. And it's a lot of like guessing and estimating. And it's kind of scary when you do it for the first time. So that house went pending. They got a different seller with a cash offer, or a different buyer with a cash offer. So that house was out and we were like really bummed about it. But I was like, you know what? Things happen for a reason. Like, we'll keep looking. And we went and saw 2 houses a couple weeks ago, fell in love with one of them. And I sat down and like really made a budget sheet of like exactly how much money we're making every month, exactly how much money we're spending, what will change versus renting versus buying, estimating costs, like really the nitty-gritty details. And I will share more when we know for sure, but we are in the process with a house. I won't know for sure until closing. That's another thing. Like, you can have your offer accepted and then it's like months in like inspections, appraisals, things like that. So once I know more, I will share with you guys, but we're very excited. And yeah, so come November timeframe, look forward to some moving vlogs. I am beyond excited. I'm trying like not to get my hopes up until it's a for sure thing, but most likely there will be moving vlogs coming in November. As I'm filming this right now, it's like mid to end September, so crazy that is all happening so fast. Next says, name 3 recent favorites. Okay, so I'm trying to think of like favorite items. So right in front of me, this blanket that we got from Bobble Bar, it's personalized. It says LS, but like little beige and white smiley faces. Both the girls are sleeping on it right now, but I'm obsessed. I actually think I still have a Bobble Bar coupon code. I will leave it linked down below, but love this blanket. And then I guess since it's also from there and I have not taken it off since I got it, the bracelet that I'm currently wearing, it's just like colorful, beaded, Love it. Haven't taken it off and it's still in great condition. And then I guess for the third item, we'll stay on the Bobble Bar train, and it is this anklet that I got from them as well. Just like colorful, like rhinestones or whatever. But I guess those would be 3 favorites. Quick and easy, all Bobble Bar, all in front of my face. At what point in your life did you know your career path? So, I feel like this is different for everyone and there is no correct answer on this. For me, I knew I wanted to be a dentist very early on, like middle school. The only other thing I ever considered was being a lawyer, but the idea of like starting from the bottom, working my way up, not knowing if I'd ever get to do like exactly what I want to do. Like I feel like, you know, being a lawyer, or I also considered like criminal profiling and, you know, stuff like that. Those are all jobs that you have to like start your way at the bottom and work your way up, and it could be a while, and you could also never get to where you exactly want to be. So that was something that kind of deterred me from that path. But with dentistry, I was like, yeah, it's a long road as far as like 4 years of college, 4 years of dental school, residency if you specialize, like that. But I've always loved it and I do not regret it at all. Like I said earlier, pediatric dentistry is definitely the move. So I knew early, but that was just, I guess, my path. Everybody's path is different. What made you want to do YouTube? So I grew up watching YouTube like religiously since I would say late middle school. I watched it constantly. I kept up with my favorite vloggers and like couldn't get enough. And I'd always wanted to do it. Gabby and I used to post, like my sister who does social media full time now, always used to post like funny music video, like stop motion videos, and I don't know, just like random stuff like that. I've always loved like the filming, editing, creative process of it. And then once she started doing it full time, she was like, listen, there's not like a lot of people out there that share their like day-to-day, especially in the dental world. Like there's not a lot of people sharing that on the internet. She's like, why don't you just start recording vlogs? And I started it. It was like summer after COVID hit, and I like just finally got the courage and did it. I wish I did it years earlier. That's my only regret, but I love it. I love doing vlogs. I love editing. I like having the memories to look back on too. I think it's gonna be super fun for like my future kids to watch these. They'll probably cringe, and you know, I'll probably cringe at my early videos, but it's just super fun. I enjoy like chatting with you guys, meeting people. Yeah, I think because I love watching YouTube so much, it was like a no-brainer for me to like pick up the camera and try to start it on my own. And I've loved it ever since. On that note, someone said, are you doing Vlogmas this year? Yes, it'll be my first time doing Vlogmas with a full-time job, but I'm either going to look into hiring someone to help me edit or just doing what I can. But I love Vlogmas, and especially because that'll be like the month after we possibly move. I'm like super excited for the content in Vlogmas. I think I'm on call the week of Christmas and Sean works, so I think our family's coming down to us, which will be super fun, since Gabby and I are both now in Florida. So yes, I will be doing Vlogmas. I will try my best. I feel like every year I'm like super stressed about it, and then it comes and it's like no big deal. So yes, I will be doing it. Get excited, because I'm excited. This one says, what gel polish do you use? So I'm actually picking at my nail right now because I just painted them, but I use typically, so my first gel kit that I ever got was the Beetles gel polish, and I have the most of those polishes. Absolutely love them. They're affordable. You can get them on Amazon, but I also just got the Madam Glam ones, and this is like a light green, like a light sage or like mint green color, and I'm obsessed. It came with like a little lamp. I already have a lamp with Beetles, but this is like a smaller, more portable one if you're traveling. It has, again, like the base coat, top coat, and then I got a couple colors. So I will leave, I have a discount code for Madam Glam Nails down below and a link. So check them out. This is my first time doing nails with them, and it's great. Big fan. I love gel nails because they don't have to be long, they're easy to do, and they last for a really long time. I end up like having to peel them off. You're supposed to soak them off. I'm really bad about that. They're soak off gel polishes, but they literally last weeks. So obsessed. That is what I do. I will link everything down below for my nails. I do them constantly. Next question says, do you recommend the Kindle? Which one do you have, and where do you get the books? So I absolutely love my Kindle. What is going on with my hair? Please hold. I absolutely love my Kindle. I have the Kindle Paperweight, like, oh my gosh, I got it years ago. I got it when I was an undergrad. So that's like at least 6-7 years ago, and it still works perfectly. I've had no issues with it. I recommend it for sure because I feel like it's so much easier and more, I mean, it is cost effective, and especially with how much moving we've done in the past couple years, it's so nice to just have everything on one device. I can bring it everywhere I go and just like pull it up and read whenever it's convenient. So I love it. I do love a physical book, but as far as like the ease and convenience of it, I feel like the Kindle is 10 out of 10. I can read it in bed at night too because it has like a built-in light, but it doesn't strain your eyes. I'm just like obsessed. So I have the Kindle Paperweight, very old one. I got it cheap years back. I'm sure you can find it. And then as far as where I get my books, I look a lot online. I have a Goodreads account, and I'll look up books and then just find them on the computer, and I'll drag them into my Kindle. And that's what I do, basically. Go-to Starbucks drink for the season, summer, fall, winter. Okay. This summer, my go-to drink was easily a tall vanilla sweet cream cold brew. I don't know what it is. It was the perfect amount. The iced vanilla sweet cream sweetened the coffee, the cold brew, like enough that it wasn't too bitter, but not super sweet because I like the taste of coffee and I didn't want it really sweet. So I fell in love with that. Fall, easily, anything pumpkin. Lately it's been the pumpkin cold brew. Pumpkin spice lattes are just a little too much milk for me these days. I don't know what it is. I still love them and I will get them, you know, all the time, but I think I've been leaning more towards like the pumpkin cream cold brew more than the lattes per se. And then winter, I'm so mad. It used to be the gingerbread latte, obsessed, my favorite, and then they got rid of it and they haven't had it for a while. So I would say, I'm trying to think of like what I liked last year. One of their seasonal lattes, whatever it is, they feel like they come out with different ones each year. But Starbucks, if you're listening, please come back with the gingerbread because it was my absolute favorite and I have not had it in years and I'm so sad about it. Also in the summer, I like to get the iced teas, like the peach iced tea, either black or green, whatever I'm feeling. Not a big refresher person because I don't like soda, and to me they taste like fruity sodas and that's just not my vibe. I'm a big Dunkin' gal, if that helps. But yeah, as far as Starbucks, I would say that's pretty much my yearly rotation, I guess. This one says, is being an influencer worth the stress when you have a full-time job? So this is something I've realized recently. Obviously my full-time job is my priority. Number one, being a pediatric dentist, like that is my job. And for me, social media is like a side thing. And I will say, I love it. I love recording the podcast. I love filming YouTube videos. I love posting on Instagram. One thing for me is like, I am a very success-driven person, so it's like I want my work to equal my success. Like if I'm putting in more work, I want my following to grow. I want, more brand deals to come in, like things like that. Like I'm a very linear person in that sense. Like, and that's the hard part with social media is so much of it is totally out of your control. It's whether or not the algorithm pushes your content, and I don't know, there's just like a lot to it. So I found myself getting very frustrated and kind of took a step back from social media. I will say like, it is worth the stress if you enjoy doing it. So for me, I just obviously can't put as much time into it as I was between dental school and working. Like I have less time to do it now, but when I do, I still love it. I think that's why I've gravitated more towards YouTube because I can just film every day and then like edit once a week. Whereas Instagram, I'm finding that I haven't had time to like go out and like shoot content. And when we are out, I'm just like I just want to be in the moment and enjoy it. So I haven't taken many photos, and it's like just finding that balance, I guess. But I will say if it's something you enjoy, it's awesome. I love it. I love chatting with people. I love the creative side of things. It's like a nice outlet outside of my full-time job. And I like watching creators that have other full-time jobs because I feel like their vlogs are more relatable and whatnot. So I don't know. I would just say it obviously, it's not like I'm out here, devoting like every spare second that I'm not in work, but it is like a nice creative hobby on the side. So do what you will with that information. But if you're like wondering if it's something that you should pursue while you're working, I say if you enjoy it, why the heck not? What is something that you'd like to focus on more in the next month? I love this question. For me, I want to focus on eating more whole foods is number one. I'll give you like 3 things. So eating more whole foods and less processed foods, that's number one. And I'm really struggling with that because I love my Lunchables, Cheez-Its, like all of those things. So I'm really trying to get better at like eating more whole, healthier foods, if you will. Number 2 is getting outside more. Because I work most of the time, full time, like Monday through Friday, my only time to get outside is on the weekends. And then like today, it's a Saturday when I'm filming this and I spent all day doing computer work and stuff. So I want to be better at like going to the beach, going to the pool, doing more outdoor things because I've been slacking on that. And that's something that I really miss since starting my job. So that is the next one. And then number 3, honestly, like I would say those 2 things. Drinking more water. There we go. That can be number 3 because for a while I was doing really good at work about drinking like multiple water bottles a day, and lately I just haven't been. And that's just on me being lazy, to be completely honest. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I feel like I could do a part 2 if you like this. Maybe we'll make this like a monthly series of like Q&A, catch up. Look forward to some exciting vlogs in the future, especially if all goes well with the potential moving process. I'm really excited. We'll probably start like a whole house series and things like that. There's some updates if we do get the house of like little things we want to do. So of course I'll film that, but nothing's set in stone yet. So I don't want to get too excited and get your hopes up, but just look forward to that if so. And I'm just really excited to bring you guys along, but I hope you enjoyed this little Q&A life update video. And if you're not already, subscribe, catch up on the Week in My Life vlogs. I've been doing a couple weekend in my lives as well. And please, please, please leave some comments down below of what else you want to see on the channel, because I know you guys love the Week in My Lives, but I feel like we could add another video every now and then because I'm only posting once a week when I do the Week in My Life. So that's kind of what I want to do, is maybe post twice a week, or at least like every other week post an extra video. So leave some comments of some recommendations of what you guys want to see and we'll make it happen. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.